Tonight, we begin a two-part look at the iconic music group, the Grateful Dead, who are this week preparing for their final reunion concerts in Chicago. First up, we focus on longtime Dead drummer Mickey Hart and his fascination with finding sounds in the most unlikely places. Special correspondent Mike Saray takes us on a very special trip to learn more.
This is really the sounds of the universe. This is what the cosmos sounds like. Pythagoras found the secrets of the universe, the rhythm of the universe, the mathematics of the universe through just a long string, which vibrated. If I have any guru, it would have to be Pythagoras, and of course rhythm is the god.
In the pantheon of rock and roll gods, the Grateful Dead have always been known for their somewhat cosmic approach to music. As one of its founding drummers, Mickey Hart has spent the better part of his professional life outside of the Grateful Dead, exploring the cultural and scientific basis of good vibrations.
The universe is made of vibration. I've been very interested in sonifying the universe, the cosmos, the sun, the Big Bang, taking those radiations from telescopes, radio telescopes, and turning that radiation into sound, which I make music out of and compose with, that in the macro and now in the micro with the brain waves, heart rhythms, DNA, stem cells. All of these have a sound. And so we take these sounds in and we embed them in the music.
Mickey's search for the universal source of rhythm has gone intergalactic and all the way back to the beginning of the cosmos.
The moment of creation, the beginning of time and space, when the blank page of the universe exploded and created the stars, the planets, black holes, pulsar supernovas. This was the beginning of time and space, and then us. And then we are still now toying with this rhythmic stimuli that was created 13.7 billion years ago.
What is neat is someone who's artistic to hear these sounds and be inspired by them and turn them into something that's really pleasing for people to hear.
Astrophysicist George Smoot earned a Nobel Prize for his work in charting the origins of what many believe to be the beginning of creation with the Big Bang. He's also a longtime Deadhead.
You can show me waveforms of the first million years and all that, and that's really great. But as soon as I see that, I said, "Give me those waveforms, George, and let's see what they sound like, and let's dance to those things." And George said, "Yeah."
With the help of the University of California at Berkeley's supercomputer, Smoot's team converted light wave traces from the Big Bang into sound waves for Mickey to work with.
It's very inharmonic, it's very dense, there's a lot of collisions up there, and there's a lot of bumps and grinds and pulses and stuff, noise, which you wouldn't call music. But I take it and I make it into what the human ear would call music so we can enjoy it. We're getting there, George! I'm getting there, George!
This was one of Mickey Hart's first laboratories for his scientific experiments. He and the Grateful Dead's Jerry Garcia used to sneak up onto the Golden Gate Bridge at night when it was closed to pedestrians, sometimes armed with rubber mallets, so they could record the vibrations of the bridge and include them in the Grateful Dead performances in the 60s and 70s during the band's heyday. Years later, he worked with the Exploratorium Museum and the National Science Foundation on creating a replica of the bridge with sensors so he could actually play it as a musical instrument. And he did, with great fanfare for the Golden Gate Bridge's 75th anniversary.
Now, I'd like to do something with it as important as playing Grateful Dead music. See, the thing about music is that you take the feeling that you get from music and you take it out in the world and you do some good with it. It can be used for other things than dancing and pleasure. It can be used as medicine. When I played a drum for my grandmother, who had Alzheimer's, she spoke my name. She hadn't spoken in a year. That was power. Where did it come from? How did this do that?
Dr. Adam Gazzali, a research neurologist at the University of California, San Francisco, is working with Mickey on identifying rhythms that can stimulate different parts of diseased and damaged brains.
Mickey's wearing an EEG cap here, and each of these electrodes are detecting those very subtle signals that have rhythmic activity being generated by the neurons in his brain. Quite a nice looking brain. Mickey
Thank you.
should be proud of that
I like
brain.
it.
So this is live recording right now for Mickey's brain.
The only way to find the code on how music works is through science. And that's my relationship with Adam Gazzali and other scientists to find how does it work on the brain.
So if you can prescribe a certain rhythmic treatment and actually validate that there's an outcome that's reproducible, it would be a really powerful way of looking at modern medicine.
It seems like a very natural thing from my research in music and medicine. The shaman use drums, they use rattles, and all of their forms of healing. So it's not something that we're inventing, but we're progressing because of science.
A team of stem cell researchers at the Gladstone Institute at the University of California, San Francisco, are working with Mickey on identifying impulses generated by brain and heart cells.
The idea is that we might be able to, with Mickey Hart's approach, convert that electrical energy into sound and be able to map differences between diseased cells versus normal cells.
So we'll know, what frequencies, what rhythms have been cut or broken, and then be able to replace that with a healthier rhythm, a healthier sound, a healthier frequency, perhaps, that will make this a therapy, a legitimate science.
For the Grateful Dead's upcoming 50th anniversary concerts, Mickey Hart is pulling out all the science stops and digging deep into his research of the origins of rhythm and good vibrations to create one of the band's signature Rhythm Devils sequences with drummer Bill Kreutzmann for the Grateful Dead's final performance together.
Pythagoras is the owner of this, actually. He's the guy.
Mm-hmm. And what are people going to hear for the 50th anniversary that maybe no one's ever heard before?
Oh, no. They're going to hear the lowest note sounded in a concert, which is 19 cycles, that you can't really go to.
And will you feel that in your chest?
Oh, yeah, you'll feel it all over. It'll vibrate your whole body. It won't scare you. It'll just make you feel really good. It's kind of just like a bath.
For the PBS NewsHour, this is Mike Saray reporting from San Francisco.
I can already feel it. We'll have more on the Grateful Dead and the band's final concerts on Monday.